And we are recording.
Woo!
Alrighty. So, last time, after doing some surgery on my grandfather and investigating, more interrogating than investigating, interrogating the ghost of Old Barrow, who became Old Bear No, after he got chest bursted. We left the tundra, the underground area of the tundra. I don't know if the entire party was aware of this, but apparently we were being pursued on our way out. We blew some holes in an ice wall and then met up with Atramir before heading back into Cardinal's Retreat, where we split the party, some of us heading to the hideout of the Copperlegs, some of us returning to the bar.
It was the Midnight Guard, not the Copperlegs.
The Midnight Guard, sorry. But yes, some of us went back to the bar, namely Darkalion, to finish the drink that should not be finishable, which was quite impressive. Then we all kind of regathered ourselves back at the hideout. Some of us went to bed right away, namely myself, my grandfather, and K2, while some others went and did some investigative exploring. Briar got stuck in the floor for a good while before she was found, and then Atramir was put through the ringer and had himself blasted by duck cannons, I believe, twice, before opening a very large chest filled with a great deal of money and what seems to be some form of slot machine of prizes for everyone in the party. So those who were awake made use of this interesting feature of the chest before returning to rest, and that is where we left off. Did I miss anything? I think that's pretty good, right? A little wordy, but
It's probably we did, yeah.
all right, neat.
My potato runs a little bit better potato now.
Woo! Potatoes! A potato flew around my room.
Literally, the only thing I have left on here is an online painting program, my Bitdefender, and Spotify.
Spotify is a predatory company that doesn't pay its artists nearly enough.
Spotify has no ads, and I appreciate them for it because I pay them money.
Yeah,
Next.
same.
Alright, so,
I think Briar was on the run to try and get Reelan. Because did Reelan actually go to bed, or did he just accept stay on watch?
Well, it's Edward went to go see if Reelan was up, and when he knocked on the door, Reelan was like, "Shh." So Edward left him alone. I think Briar was going to go try to get K2 on the off chance that.
That's right.
On the off chance that maybe he'll get mystical time paints out of this thing, and we don't have to go back into the Everhold.
It was one of the people's, yes.
yeah.
Mystical, magical, timey-wimey bullshit.
Obviously, since Tori is listening, we will do everything else first.
Mm-hmm. First, we'll address the complaints of one homebrew.
Well, yeah, he's gonna keep complaining, though. So, you know. Move.
Maybe he just wants scritches.
I mean, yeah.
Probably.
Have you been giving him enough scritches?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
Wow.
Yeah, that was an inappropriate question. I overreached. I'm sorry.
You did. How dare you?
Right.
So yeah, we'll skip stuff with Briar for now.
I don't really know if there is anything else left then, at least in this moment.
Okay, well, then we'll fast forward, and then when Tori is capable of speaking, we will rewind.
Oh, okay.
That's
I was
probably
say,
the
do
only
we
way we
want to
can
just
do it.
have like, if of course Mike is agreeable, just have K2 exist so we can still do the things and stuff. Like Tori had talked to him.
We can just say that Briar woke K2 up off screen, and the two of them walk in together.
Yeah, that works.
That works.
Boom.
We'll do that.
Magic.
Because I'm assuming going to go look in a box wouldn't disrupt my long rest.
No.
Yeah.
Counts as a light physical activity.
All right.
But motion
What-
at the box.
What is this
Magic
about?
box.
A magic treasure box?
Reach in, grab a thing. It'll be the thing for you.
Just see if there's anything of interest in there for you besides the obvious bullshit.
It seems like it's been pulling things out that we might find useful, so maybe if we're lucky, you might get some whatever we're looking for.
Rava's, like, stabbing implement.
All right. K2 will walk over and reach into the box of treasure.
All right. Roll a d10.
Damn.
God damn it.
All right.
Does that mean I get to roll 2 more d10s and get both results?
No, it just means you find the best version of the
Yay!
whatever it is you're looking for. Which, to be truthful, I haven't thought of anything for you.
Yeah.
I know I've had a week to do it, and
Wow.
it hasn't come up. So we'll do some brainstorming in our DMs a little bit later and come up with something during the break. And we'll come
Guys,
back
it's
to it.
it's just a box with a question mark on it.
A mystery box.
Why did I pull a box out of a box?
He's got one of those Mario question block cubes.
This is me as a person and as a DM, where I'm like, what the fuck do I give a character
Who has
that, like,
everything?
no,
has
that doesn't have everything. But just like, you can't pin down a class for him. You don't know what the fuck he's gonna do next. How do I give an item to somebody so chaotic to make it balanced?
You give him you give him a potion of healing.
Josh, that's the thing about high-level spellcasters. There's nothing you can do to balance.
You give him a healing potion and say thanks for playing, Skippy.
Thanks for playing, Skippy.
Yeah, it's a healing potion that just regenerates 1d4 plus 1 every minute.
Mm-hmm.
That would be insane. To a max of 2d4 plus 2. No, yeah, we'll brainstorm. We'll come back to it. But you've effectively pulled the best version of an item.
Yay!
Because 10 is the highest you can roll on a d10. So.
My
Man.
God. You're right.
Nice.
So yeah, there's that bit of outside the game lore for anybody watching. Josh fails to prep again.
Josh is a human being.
Is it a failure to prepare if you never intended to start to begin with?
I intended to start at some point.
Newsflash.
Between now and the heat death in the universe?
No.
Come to find out, the DM is in fact human. It makes mistakes. and procrastinates.
Whoa.
Oh, this wasn't a mistake.
Whoa.
That's why I also preface procrastinates.
I feel like human is a little generous.
No, I didn't procrastinate. I thought about it, and then I went, maybe not.
That's procrastination, Josh.
No. You see, he thought about it, and then he had to think about it just even a little bit harder than he had to for most of us, and just gave up.
Oh my god.
Anyway, you pull an item. Yay!
Yay!
Oh!
Holy god, it's so shiny!
Now we just
How
need
the
to
fuck
get
did you
Raylan
get
to
in here?
touch the box.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
But yeah, since Relan is
Currently asleep. And unwilling to partake in any activities.
Either asleep or tending to his grandfather.
time.
It's one of those two for sure.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you guys just been like tearing apart Atramir's home? Is that how you found this thing?
I went
No.
snooping and then, with permission, continued to stoop. Atramir.
We found Briar, underneath the bed where the chest was. And then, because it's my grandfather's chest, I proceeded to, unlock it because technically it's, inheritance.
Ah, dark.
Because apparently, gestures to the bowl that Hurid has not yet replaced be an urn yet.
Yeah, so you can see how the attempts at unlocking went, as there's like 30 goose corpses, just... or 30 duck corpses just on the ground.
And I think it's only fair that you guys get something out of the chest, given, you guys inadvertently made it possible for me to come here again in the first place.
I don't necessarily know if that's true.
Well, anyway, this was nice. Thank you, Atramir, for the plunder. But I'm going to take my insert item here and go back to bed.
Sleep. Go to sleep.
And then I go back to bed. Get the
Sounds like a plan.
like 2 hours, I think I had left on my long rest.
Yeah, probably at this point.
Something along those lines.
All right.
I think with that out of the way, the rest of us are probably going to get a rest in, right?
Who are you arresting?
Hmm?
You said you're gonna get arrested. Who are you arrested?
Oh my god.
God damn you.
To be fair, I also heard we're gonna get arrested. So, like...
I mean,
I also
are
was
we
confused.
in the city of thieves? Are we really going to
Not
get
in this
arrested?
city.
It depends. If the stone shifters are paying attention.
I feel like that's not so much being arrested and just getting the shit kicked out of you for resisting.
In any case, I know where I'm sleeping, and it's gonna be this room.
You're just kicking Briar out.
Oh my god. I just realized that finding this stuff while we were trying to rest what made me think of a great title for last week's episode. Arrested Development.
Oh.
Mike, I
Like
don't have the
that
energy.
Discord, but that would ruin the recording.
Mike, I don't have the energy for your bullshit today. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Sleepy times.
All right. You all find a place to rest somewhere.
Listen, they got comfy chairs. I'm still posting up on a comfy chair.
That's fair. They are quite comfy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I double checked last week.
No.
Pay ya. Yeah, everybody in the party gains the benefits of a long rest.
The real question is K2 here by the time we're done?
It's a great question.
Considering if he only has 2 hours, and the rest of us have like
8.
Yeah. Yeah. The rest of us by the time he's done still have 6.
He spends the rest of the time planning. If there even is a plan.
There is things I want to do once my long rest is concluded, Josh.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're up because
Cool.
everybody else has 6 hours left, except
Woo.
well,
Except maybe
except for
one.
Reelan, yeah, but
Yeah.
he's kind of doing his thing.
Kind of hard to tell when his rest started because he's off in his own little Schrodinger's box of a bedroom.
Yeah, I guess Darkalion did also begin rest at the same time as well.
Oh yeah, that's also true.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, did we have you pick something? I
We
don't
did.
remember.
Yeah, he got a box.
Yeah.
I just wanted
Yeah,
to
I
double
got
check
the
and make
distance
sure.
punch.
Oh, that's right. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
the sock
they-
and bopper.
Yeah, the only one right now who hasn't is Reelan.
That's what I thought, but also, like, I don't remember what everyone else got other than, like, Edward and Briar. So, like,
Yeah.
double checking.
I honestly don't remember what anybody got.
Fair.
Yeah, Edward got a feather.
I know that Rava got a sweet chain
Yeah,
to attach to her. To her toilet.
Edward and Briar kind of got shafted.
Zacto, go fuck yourself.
Well, I mean, Edward rolled a 2, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Still, it's
shafted
not
my face.
awful.
Yeah, it's not awful, but you know, it's
Could have been worse. Could have been like a lesser healing potion.
I mean,
alright. So once I finish my long rest, I immediately cast sending.
Okay.
And I'm going to send a message to Red Eyes.
Okay.
And I say, why do you even want the hunter? Is it for revenge? Do you want him to suffer? And what the rest I have to say, I guess I'll just wait for a reply. before I send my next message.
Make a persuasion check.
All right. Oh. I forgot. Before I would have sent a message, I would have cast Enhance Ability myself. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Obviously charisma.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was a level 1 slot, not level.
Sure, you want to go the more untraditional route, strength.
I'm not sure how that would help me.
Oh, you wanted it to help you. Oh.
K2's just sending mental projections of him just flexing.
He's gotta make a strength-based perception or persuasion check.
The magic, the magic equivalent of sending workout pics.
Yeah.
Hey, you up?
Oh my god. Dirty 20.
Thinking. Give me a second.
Sure.
Okay. It responds to you, of course, in its mixed language,
Right.
to which you can interpret.
Yep.
Because it's not like this message is not very difficult to, because all he says is pain.
All right. I guess, can I take an insight check on that? Is he talking about his pain or the pain he wants to inflict on the hunter?
You can insight, yes.
All right. 19.
It comes off as a bit of both.
Okay. Fair enough. I will send another message. And I'll say... whether it's pain he's caused you or pain you wish to cause, I assure you his life from now on will be filled with pain. That's 25 exactly.
Good.
Is that all he says? Okay.
Yep.
He's not a very stunning conversationalist, as we can all tell.
Yeah. Another message. In fact, living his life in his addled state would be far more painful than what you could imagine. Perhaps there's something else you want. Also 25 words exactly. I'm good at this.
It's like a haiku.
Yeah. Similar.
Yeah. It's like a haiku, except not at all.
It's like a haiku, except 5 lines of 5 instead of 3 that are 5, 7, 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't good at math.
Well, haiku is also syllables, not words.
Yeah, there is a similarity there. I'm not saying it's one for one.
God.
Look, I played a lot of Ghost of Tsushima. I know what a haiku is.
I want to play it. I haven't played that yet. I need to play that in Sekiro.
Both great games.
I got distracted by that conversation. What was it again?
So basically what I said in my message is, just like Reeland's grandfather living out the rest of his days in his crippled state is far more painful than anything this guy could do to him at this point. And so I'm asking him if there's something else that he would want instead, in order to try and open up negotiations to make the paints in the forest without constant threat of being attacked by this thing, and possibly getting his help to find the necessary resources. That's my intention.
Okay. We'll keep your persuasion from before.
Okay. Assuming that succeeds.
It's high enough, yeah.
Alright, cool.
Gotta think if there's anything else I would want.
I mean, this thing's plight with Reeland's grandfather does not go that far back. It had a life before Reeland's grandfather showed up.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. It's like he had to have some reason for living or wanting things before that.
It lived for someone to kill it.
Oh no. It's so depressing.
Well, consider the person that said it. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh.
What is life without death?
Unending agony with no promise of an end.
This is where I find out that all Red Eyes wants is a good set of eye drops so he can fucking have normal eyes.
He needs some Visine.
Clear eyes for the red eye.
God damn it.
I hate my life.
Well, all he wants is a good steak sandwich.
I feel like this is the same. I've done it to Josh again, where it's like, what's your big powerful guy's motives? It's Afario all over again. I was like, are you bored?
I mean, fucking probably, yeah.
Oh man.
Man lives in a cave.
I was trying to avoid this one, but we'll see how this ends up because this is going to be hilarious.
Okay.
You should know better than to
This is starting
try.
great. Okay.
Oh, good.
He wants to go on a Pokemon adventure. Red Eyes, I choose you!
No, I think the Red Eyes is the one that's doing the choosing.
Oh, yeah.
Bring me a mate.
Man's is down bad, I see.
Huh. I honestly was not expecting that.
No, me either.
I would like to seduce the dragon. No.
Just because you have a few levels in Bard doesn't mean you have to fall into the stereotype.
Starting already.
Well, like, I feel like he probably means, like, to procreate, which I can't do that.
Yet.
I don't like that. That feels threatening, Nestor.
That's some horny bard energy, Nestor. We're gonna need you to leave that back in
Not here.
somewhere else.
Wherever the last place you played a bard in.
Sorry, I'm not playing the right character for that.
Okay. I will send another message. Up to 4th level now.
This means you get 30 words.
I get 30 words! Alright. See.
Challenge him to a game of Siege Ball for the paint.
Oh my god, fucking Siege Ball again. I don't think K2 would do well in that game.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
Personally-
attacking in that game, and I have a lot of AoE stuff.
Yeah.
Rochambeau for the paint.
Personally, I'd rather die than play Siege Ball.
Wait,
1v1, final destination, no items. I'll say... Now that's something I can work with. Of course, my need for what lies in your domain is more pressing. If you allow me to conduct my business, try to think of what else I can say with 2 words.
We good.
Red Eyes is 2 words.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to conduct my business. Holla at ya.
Mike, I think you broke him.
I I legitimately, I got so distracted again because of everything extra that wasn't business. I heard conduct my business like twice, and then holla at you.
Basically, I'm saying, if he lets it, like, because our thing is like has a time constraint, I'm saying like, let us do what we need to do here, then I can find him a mate.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That's basically what I'm saying.
Fine. Did my response come through? Was that heard?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
we
I
said
didn't
fine.
hear anything.
Okay.
Oh, I
Yeah,
heard
him say fine.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
Okay. I will re-roll.
I haven't told you if it fails or succeeds yet.
Okay, does it fail?
No, I rolled a 4.
Oh, okay. Well, damn.
My rolls over the course of this conversation have just gone down.
Well,
Probably because the red eye is just so fucking stunned at the audacity of this man. He's like, fine, fuck, okay, sure, whatever, I don't care. Fuck.
listen, you do not realize how many stuffy nobility gentlemen I had to help find dates in college. It's like they were not good at it. So K2, he can be a little bit of a matchmaker. The problem is finding another one of these things,
or anything close enough.
Yeah, because we don't even know what type of creature this is.
We
Not
have
alone
no
what it
fucking
is.
idea. As far as we're aware, it's the only member of its kind.
Oh, we just need a ditto, guys.
Oh, mate.
Now you just gotta get a bunch of people together, come up with an idea, and when somebody agrees, you just say, ditto, and then you snatch it, and you run with it.
Oh my god. Now, here's my question. Is that just a mimic, or is that a new ooze creature we just created?
What the fuck is going on?
We're talking about making a Pokemon in our game that can mate with Red Eyes, because we don't know if there's even another one of these things out there.
Alright, well, back on topic.
Yeah.
It seems to be kind of irritated, but it's willing to let you do what you need to.
Hell yeah.
To get its promise.
Hell yeah. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna go find Darkalion, because he's the only one that's awake. That I know of.
He's around somewhere.
Okay. I eventually find Darkalion, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the place is one giant circle. It's not that difficult.
Yeah. It was like, hey, Darkalion, could you help me with something?
What do you need?
We're gonna go talk to Red Eyes.
Wait, what?
I've been in psychic communication with him, and I have come to a truce with it.
Okay.
It's allowed us to go into the forest to find what we need to find there. And then I just need to do something for it afterwards once we're done saving.
Oh, all right.
Now, can we just go now, or do you want to wait for the rest of the party?
I
don't want to make you uncomfortable.
I mean, are you sure about this?
It took some tough diplomacy, but I think we came to an understanding in the end.
Like, you're willing to put both our lives on the line because you believe in this?
Oh, that, yes.
You're 100% sure.
Josh rolled like a 4. No, just kidding.
That means nothing to me.
I know. Yes, I like. All right. That's the thing about diplomacy is like you're never 100% sure because like he could be completely agreeable, and then like 2 days later he'll decide what the fuck am I doing, and then turns on us. But right now, in this moment, I believe he is willing to work with us.
Well, I guess we should let everybody else finish resting, and we can probably go. At least leave them a note so they know where we're headed, and if we don't come back, they'll understand why.
I will leave the party a note. It says, made friends with Red Eyes. Darkalion and I went to go get paint. Be back in a couple hours. And we're going back to the forest. That's why I put up my flag. Because I knew I'd be coming back. Josh, hello?
Is Josh distracted again?
No, I'm
No.
trying to think about. It's just the two of you.
Yep.
And you're going obviously back outside.
Yes.
To the marker.
Yes.
Okay.
We know where it is.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have no issues finding it. It would still be there.
Okay.
The hole wouldn't be quite froze over because it hasn't been very long.
Sure.
So you could easily chip it apart and get back down in there.
Shape water.
Yeah, easy enough. Yeah, easy enough. You shape water and clear up the ice. Begin making your descent back into the cave. You take some time. You reach the bottom, and find that everything is as it was. The hut's still there.
Before we go to like the dark forest proper, I do want to investigate the hut a bit more, just to see if there was like any like trapdoors, secret passages, or something where the evil lady was hiding stuff.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
And I will assist.
At advantage.
And also give you guidance.
Ooh, thank you.
Because I can.
Because you can. What is this investigation?
Yeah.
Cool. 22 plus 1, 23.
Yeah, you scour the place and find nothing else.
I guess that was everything she was hiding. Before we look for the portal to the Dark Forest, I want to see a bit more of the... Let's just call it the Bright Forest. The Dark Forest, the Bright Forest. Because we didn't really get a chance to look at the Bright Forest that much, like other than there like being like animals and like that's where like Obero would like hunt and pick berries. We don't really know much about it. So I just want to... Let's check that out a little bit. See if there's anything here that might be what we're looking for before we head to the Dark Forest to see if it's there.
Sure. Are you looking for anything in particular, or just kind of scoping out the area?
I'm looking for the source of the forest magic.
The source of the forest, the West Mimsy. Alright, go ahead and make a survival check.
Okay, I was the only one who was thinking that.
No, you were not the only one.
Alright. Darkalion, are you good at survival?
I only have a +2.
Good +2? Okay, I have a...
No proficiency, though.
Yeah. Cool. I will cast Enhance Ability on myself to give me advantage on Wisdom check.
And guidance!
Guidance!
Yeah, I'm decent at investigation, good at perception, but yeah. Good at stealth, but survival's just mediocre.
Yeah. It's alright. It's not used that often, so it's understandable. Alright. 18 plus 3, 21.
$21.
21, blackjack!
Okay. So you spend a good amount of time combing through this forest. And it takes a little bit of time. By a little bit, I mean it takes you like half an hour.
Sure.
Before eventually you cross the forest and find that not bunched into a corner, but kind of like near about the far side from the hut, in a section of the forest, the trees get much denser.
Ooh.
So the survival check is to navigate through them, which you do.
Yay!
And after traveling through said dense forest, you do come across a large tree that looks like it has been here a very, very long time. Because it is massive, and it's kind of surprising. You've never seen the canopy for it.
Interesting. Just picturing the grandmother tree on it.
Not quite that big,
Okay.
but effectively, yes, it is huge in proportion to everything else.
Yeah. I guess I'll check this large tree if it see if it's got like some kind of like wellspring of natural magic to it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Ooh. God. Oof.
Would you like to re-roll?
Yeah. Yeah. Slightly better.
It's the tree itself isn't magical, but you are sensing it has been affected by magic.
Okay. Interesting. Alright. I've heard tales of land benefiting from something being buried. I'm gonna use some mold earth to dig around in the ground at the base of the tree, trying to do my best to not disrupt the tree. I don't want to like kill this tree, because that just feels like a big moral like faux pas. So I want to try and like see if there's something like buried underneath the tree, whether it's an artifact or just like a area of condensed magic underneath the tree.
Okay, checking for condensed magic under the tree. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, using mold earth to kind of like move the dirt around without killing the tree.
Yeah, enough to. I mean, yeah, that's pretty feasible to be honest. Yeah, you take a couple rounds because it's the 5x5 cube. I think it's what it moves.
Up to, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you can pretty easily maneuver around the roots so that they're still dug into the ground, so that they're still getting their nutrients. And lo and behold, it's just dirt. There's nothing here.
Damn. Well, okay. Just trying to avoid this, but I guess I'll have to, because I think it's also, yeah, it is all concentration. So I'll end the concentration on my enhance ability, so I can cast Detect Magic, to see if that kind of, like, helps me, like, maybe, like, if this thing has benefited from magic, maybe there's, like, a trail of magic that I can follow that is just invisible to the naked eye, that magic sensor help with.
Sure. You cast Detect Magic, and it's almost like you would now be seeing like small wisps, like basically just almost like they're fuming off of the bark of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look up, it seems to be more present near the top.
Oh, up the tree. Darkalion, we need to climb this tree.
Okay. I guess I can start climbing.
Okay. Well, you begin climbing the tree. Let's real quick.
Why do I not like this?
I don't like boop.
You guys aren't there. You're there. You guys aren't there. Where is he? You're there. Okay. Go ahead and grab one of these. This is fitting. It stands out enough. Tree.
Jesus.
Okay. I was like, what is that?
A shrubbery.
It's a hyper-realistic tree.
It's the biggest shrubbery I've ever seen.
Roll initiative.
Okay.
Look, they take a lot of pride.
Tree fight.
They take a lot of pride in the shrubberies here in the Everold.
Sorry, I should probably make it bigger for scale. Okay, there we go.
We find the fucking Whomping Willow? What is this?
I mean,
Wait, can you put a banana next to it? I can't tell how big it is.
Oh my God.
You're
Look,
fighting
look
the
at the
tree.
top.
You're fighting the tree from fucking Kirby. I don't remember its name.
Oh,
No,
the
like
one
Kirby
that's
stuff.
I think it's just called Wispy Woods.
Yeah, that's what it is. I wanted to say the Deku tree, and I was like, that's Zelda.
That's really funny because I've had like one of the Kirby theme songs stuck in my head like all day.
See, whenever that happens to me, it's Donkey Kong Country. Anyways.
DK. Donkey Kong.
No, bad.
okay. So. This is fun.
Is it? Because I'm concerned.
Free initiative.
Alright. Darkalion. Since you are beginning, you begin climbing, because nothing has happened.
Okay.
What is your climb speed?
I mean, I have no idea.
I mean, technically, you can just run up walls, so you don't even need to climb. You can just run up the
Do I
trunk.
have that ability, or?
It's at 9th
Oh
level.
yeah, true. 9th level, yeah.
It's part of unarmored movement. This is like it has like the 2nd level part where it's all like the
there it
additional
is.
speed, and then it says at 9th level you can run on walls and across water.
This isn't a wall, though. It's a tree.
Tree's just a cylindrical wall.
So yeah, I'm just being a dick. I'm not actually trying to pick holes in this.
What are trees? What are walls if they're not dead trees?
How high up are the first branches, Josh?
200 feet.
I can make
Damn.
it half of the way there.
This thing's huge.
Yeah, I guess I try and make it to the first branch as close as I can.
Okay. You're using your full movement to basically yeet yourself up the wall?
Probably.
Okay. You have, 50 feet move speed?
Yep.
Okay. So you can dash as an action. Would you also like to step on the wind to dash as a bonus action?
Sure, why not?
Okay. So yeah, you're 150 feet up side of the tree.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Star Wars.
Alright. On initiative count 20. Which effect happens? 2! Alright. Sleep pollen. Both of you, please make me a con save.
Wait, both of us?
Wait, yeah. Carlion's an elf.
Oh yeah, he is an elf. So yeah, he is he's unaffected, yeah. Cool. Alright, K2.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's some fast falling pollen.
Wait,
Right.
what ability is this from Elf? I don't remember.
It's your
Fey
Fey
ancestry.
ancestry.
Yeah.
You can't be put to sleep. 26.
Nice.
Yeah, that's plenty high enough. Yeah, you feel well rested after your long rest and are not tired.
Yeah. I think I just woke up.
Alright. K2.
Alright. Now that I know the scope of this fucking tree, I'm just not expecting the lowest branches to be 200 feet in the air. Holy shit.
Yeah, I feel that we would have honestly known that before I started running. I mean, all we have to do is literally look up. But anyway.
Yeah. Big tree.
So does... Okay. Alright. I'll end concentration on detect magic, trying to like pinpoint where I see like the little wispy magics leading me to. Try to figure out like a compass heading. Straight up, so I guess not exactly a compass heading, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, it's up in the tree.
Yeah. And I'll cast Fly.
Fair? Yeah.
And I will then fly 60 feet up.
Alright.
Action.
Yeah. You do so. You are
Cool.
60 feet in the air.
I am 60 feet in the air.
Is that your turn?
How high up did Darkalion get?
150 feet.
Okay, yeah. He is outside the range of Barakin's, so yes, that's it.
Okay. Darkalion.
Make it the rest of the way to the first branch and get a good foothold.
Okay. Yeah, you continue the remaining 50 feet. Climbing up onto one of the branches. They're incredibly sturdy, as you can expect a tree this size.
Yeah, I figured. And I will wait here for K2.
All right. Tree's turn. Which one happens next? 3. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Well, K2 is not touching a solid surface, so Tarkalion, what is your AC?
My AC is 17.
17, okay. Oh boy. I guess it didn't matter because I rolled the natural 20. Okay. Well, Tarkalion, you take 41 points of bludgeoning damage. And are knocked prone off of the tree branch. You can make a dexterity save to catch yourself. Okay. You successfully catch the branch before you fall 200 feet off of the tree. Not that it would really do a whole lot to you, but as a boulder just gets tossed up to you.
Okay. How much damage did he take?
41 bludgeoning.
My god.
Yeah, critical hit. It was, it is not a high to hit, but when you roll a natural 20, yeah.
Is the tree fighting them?
Yes.
Owie.
Okay.
Alright, back to you, K2.
Okay. I watch that display and say, "Oh fuck." Yeah, I guess I'm gonna use my action to dash to fly 120 feet up, so now I'm at 180 feet. And then I'll use my bonus action to just yell, "You got this, Tarkalion!" Inspiring him.
Fair enough. Okay. That's all for you,
Yeah,
Tarkalion.
that's movement
Yeah.
action, bonus action.
Yep.
Well, all I knew is we were climbing the tree. I don't know what we were doing up here, so I'm
Look for magic stuff.
yeah, because I can totally see magic stuff. Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Josh, I look for magic stuff.
Okay. It's a tree that's attacking you. It's probably some kind of magic.
I think the whole thing's magic.
That's impossible. I already deduced it wasn't.
And yet a boulder came from the tree to hit me. Anyway, yeah, something.
Well, it came from the ground sailing up to the tree. But yes, it's an impressive feat of strength that can probably only be attained by a tree of this size.
And I will kind of wait for him to get up here the rest of the way. I will take the dodge action to
There you
and
go.
hide behind the branch I'm standing on to kind of take it as cover, if that's even a fucking thing.
And you're touching the tree. I think it knows where you are.
I know, but I have no better ideas, okay?
I mean,
Yeah.
there is a variant rule where when you're climbing up on a creature larger than you, it has disadvantage on attacks against you. It's in the DMG.
I honestly don't want to get much higher because if I fall, it could really hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll take the dodge action and kind of use the branches as cover as best I can.
Okay.
And wait for K2.
All right. The tree. Wow. I can't believe I actually rolled all of them in somewhat succession.
It's almost like you had a 1 in 3 chance of rolling each of them.
Yay! Wow. Mathematics. All right. Well, since Darkalian's the only one in the tree,
I feel so bad.
Do you?
The branches start whacking at him.
I even cast my fly spell at 4th level, which means I could have cast it on you too, but you had already ran away from me.
Because you told me to run up the fucking tree!
I didn't know it was gonna attack us!
And this is why I'm waiting for you to get up to me, so you can cast fly on me, so I can get off the fucking tree.
Alright, so with 17 AC, 2 branches hit you. The third one does not, even at disadvantage. So you suffer a measly... It's rolling. Oh, okay, actually that was almost max damage. 17 slashing damage.
Okay.
That's it. K2.
Okay. So, gonna fly up to Darkalion, and I'll say, it seems to only attack you if you're touching it. And I'll touch him and cast another 4th level fly spell on both of us.
Okay. Fair.
And then I keep flying up after flying the 20 feet I needed to get to him. As I start looking for what I'm looking for, magic stuff.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. You continue your flight upward into the medium height branches.
Sounds good. I watched Darkalion just go rocketing past me at 180 feet per round.
Go ahead and make a perception check as well.
Oh, okay, cool. 12!
It's a tree. Alright.
Reroll!
Okay.
Less!
Maybe not a tree.
Now it's a shrubbery.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Darkalion, I'm starting to think there's something weird about this tree.
It might not be a tree. I'm not sure yet. Hang on.
I will lightly push off of the tree so I'm not touching it anymore.
Okay.
And kind of float up with him and just kind of stick with him.
Okay.
Make sure you stay close to something you can grab onto in case I fall asleep.
You got it.
Okay. Well, there it is.
There it is.
The sleep. All right, con save, please, K2.
Alrighty. 19.
All right, that's high enough.
Hell yeah.
All right, K2.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll keep flying up while looking for stuff. So I guess would it just be another perception check?
Yeah.
Like,
Or you can. Yeah, perception's probably the.
okay. I can't like use Arcana for this because I'm looking for magic.
In this case, the perception would be the one that you would need.
What if it was a wisdom-based Arcana? Oh.
No.
Okay.
There's no way I could assist, could I?
Are you proficient?
I'd say
Perception?
since.
Yeah.
Yes.
In this case, since you would have to basically be performing the help action in combat to assist.
I mean, I don't. Did you use your action on your turn?
No, I pushed off the tree and I floated up next to you, so.
Yeah, so then, yeah, you could have done the help action. So yeah, you can do it with advantage.
Sweet. $22.
Okay, yeah, that is high enough. You're able to spot what looks to be like an entrance like an owl would have for a nest in the tree. Although this one is like huge creature sized because it's a massive tree.
Sure.
Yeah, you see that, and then the rest of the tree as it just goes upward and expands.
I think we should check out that nook over there.
Alright.
I don't know why I'm yelling. It's not like it's.
Yeah, I'm literally
lot of-
5 foot away from you, so.
Well, like I just think because like we're flying, I just expect a lot of wind going around.
I mean, we're underground. There's probably not that much wind, so it's fine.
Yeah. All right, we go to the nook.
All right. You go into the nook and you're out of combat.
Yay, we did it.
You can't attack you in there.
For now.
For now. Yeah, you enter the nook and find a almost carved pathway going up higher into the tree.
Cool. Logic tells me there's something here that made these paths, or at least why there's paths here. And yet excitement tells me to not care about it. I start making my way up.
Okay. Yeah, you follow the path into the forest. Eventually, you come across what I can only describe as a gargantuan door. It's like carved into the tree.
Oh. Interesting. Is it just like a plain wooden door, or are there like symbols on it?
There are etchings.
Okay.
There are not necessarily door handles. It almost seems like the door was carved in such a way that the wood forms outward into two handles.
Like the tree grew a door?
Basically, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm assuming neither of you speaks Druidic.
Ha! No.
Nope.
All right.
You mean like it just recently got added to the language list? Before that, it was a class ability.
Yeah. So yeah, there is an inscription on the door.
All right. Let's see. Fortunately, I did not take comprehend. I thought about it, but I decided to take identify instead. Well, can't hurt to try. I am going to knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door, and you hear it kind of echo behind the door.
Sure.
But that's it.
Alright. Having no way of knowing what the inscription says, and as nobody responds knocking, I will attempt to open the door.
Okay, make an athletics check.
Oh, right, big door, that makes sense.
And guidance.
Oh, thank you.
Big door.
I mean, I can't
Oh,
assist
with
with that, so.
Too bad you can't inspire yourself.
I know, right? Oh, almost
That
rolled
kind of bard.
1d34. 13!
It's hard to open. It's
Reroll!
alright.
22!
22, alright. It's pretty hard to open. It you pull on it, you're pulling literally with everything you got, and it's not budging.
Is it locked?
Maybe. I don't see a lock
Or
on
magically sealed, maybe.
That'd be my guess. Magically sealed part. Yeah, I'll ritual cast detect magic. See if the door is magically sealed.
Okay. You spend 10 minutes casting detect magic, at which point the door does seem to have some kind of abjuration magic on it.
Cool. Darkel, can I have a little bit more guidance, please?
I absolutely. Guidance.
Cool. I will.
Basically, if there's anything that I can't assist with from this point on, Josh, just assume that I'm giving K2 guidance.
Okay.
I will, once again, cast Enhance Ability, giving myself advantage on charisma checks. And I will cast a 5th level, Dispel Magic on the door.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a... No, you're thinking I'm going to say charisma check. But I'm not. Make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, what the fuck? What is this?
Was not expecting that.
I wasn't either. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, yeah, you go to cast your spell, and as it leaves, it seems to just halt. You can see the magical energy in the air, and something has stopped it from moving.
Well, shit. Is the magical energy just like sitting there?
Yeah, it's like coalesced like right at the edge of where your fingertips were, when you cast a spell, and then you kind of like move them away as you cast it, and you're like, wait a minute, it's still right there.
Can I try to grab the magic to reabsorb the spell slot?
You can.
Wow.
Yeah, you grab the magic and reabsorb the spell slot.
Hell yeah!
Yep, that is exactly how that works.
Interesting.
Right.
I just had an idea.
Uh-oh.
Omen, you wouldn't happen to speak Druidic, would you?
Oh no, sorry. It's one of the few languages I never picked up because the druids, believe it or not, didn't like me.
Okay.
I can't imagine why.
What about you were a wizard, right?
Of sorts?
Did you have magic to like understand language? Like, did you have like a comprehend language?
No.
Damn it.
Not one of the things I picked up. I preferred not to know what people were saying about me. Probably, actually, looking back, would have been useful in talking about with the genie. Probably should have done that. But hindsight's 20/20, and here we are.
It's very upbeat for a guy who's been dead that long.
Suffering in a magic lamp.
Kinda have to.
Look, you gotta pick where you're gonna. You got a lot of time to think about this.
Josh, could I maybe cast Identify on the door to see either what spell is currently protecting it, or like what I need to do to open it? I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here, man.
I don't blame you. Yeah, go ahead and. Are you ritual casting it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you spend the next 11 minutes ritual casting Identify. It's trying to figure out how to describe this. The magic itself that's on the door is basically an enhanced lock spell. So it knock does not open this door. So
great, another reason not to take knock.
Yeah. In this particular case, it seems to be bound in like actual druidic magic. So there's a ritual that needs to be performed to open the door. And you're guessing that the words that are on there tell you how to do it.
Gotcha.
But the Identify spell does not.
Okay. I have an idea. I'm gonna send you a message, Josh.
Okay.
This is where he sacrifices Darkalion.
Well, I mean, you were the only one that got brought along. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's so funny is that's almost like a perfect opposite of the reason I brought you with me. You're here to make sure if something happens to me, I get brought back to the group. So that my shadow doesn't have to drag me all the way back to the city.
I mean, I'll do what I can, but getting down the tree with you without killing us both is gonna be rough.
You'd be surprised just how far I've thought ahead on that. Anyway.
While we're waiting for that message, is Tori here? Present?
Yeah, I've been here the whole time.
Okay. I knew you were here, I just didn't know if you were able to speak.
Oh yeah, as soon as I finish work.
Okay.
Oh, you were at work.
Which was like an hour ago.
Yeah, like 8:20ish or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gross.
Yellow.
missed you.
Silence is deafening.
Sorry, this is like a very specific thing, and
I mean, can I open my door so you can hear my dad singing along to whatever the fuck he's listening to?
Oh, do it. That'll be great.
Couldn't find out.
Not living on a prayer. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that was
Well,
earlier.
Yeah, I missed it.
I mean, if we can hear the original song, then like that might cause problems for YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, is
making
this
money
channel
off of this.
monetized?
Oh,
It's less about monetization and more just like don't want.
she was a
the-
petty
You,
bitch.
you can get muted. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
YouTube is
A
like
petty
that
bitch.
sometimes.
Fucking Susan.
Took me a second to realize what you meant by that. I was like, what? Oh.
I don't mean it, Susan Wojcicki, or however you pronounce your fucking last name. I'm sure you're a nice person. Maybe.
See, I hear Susan, and I think League of Legends.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
what does
yeah.
that
I wouldn't
happen?
have associated those two things together, but maybe that's just because I don't play League.
That's
Yeah,
your
it's-
fault.
Yeah, it's not your fault. You don't know about the Egyptian dog god that we deal with.
Named Susan.
no,
Nah,
it's just that it. Yeah, it's just his name is an anagram for Susan.
I
It's
was
just-
gonna say
it's
because
just-
that
it's just
is
Susan
hilarious.
It is, yeah. Yep, it's a fucking Susan.
which makes it even funnier when you think that Renekton wants to kill him, because you could just hear him just being like, "God damn it, Susan."
Susan. Ooh, that's scary. The It's my only good contribution.
Can't think much of the.
Still one of my favorite parts of that movie. Aside from Stephen Colbert playing the piano.
Yes.
I think
I
Oliver is the superior late night host.
I too enjoyed that movie where Seth Rogen played that classic character, Seth Rogen, but as a blue blob person.
I forgot he was in that movie, I'm not gonna lie.
There's literally, yeah, that was literally what Krista was quoting too.
I forgot he was the voice of that character, I'm not gonna lie, because he sounds the same in every movie he's in.
Yeah, that's what. Dude, that was the joke, Nestor. Thanks for finally showing up to it.
Really? You mean Seth Rogen playing Seth Rogen sounds like Seth Rogen?
Wow.
No,
Or Seth Rogen playing anything sounds like Seth Rogen.
exactly.
I want to see Seth Rogen played by Christopher Walken, played by Seth Rogen.
Played by James Franco.
Because I feel like there's like people who you can say that about and it's in a good way, and people you can say that about and it's in a bad way. Like Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds in everything, but it's great because it's Ryan Reynolds. Whereas
I want to see Shaquille O'Neal in a movie, like
where he's playing
as an individual, but he's played by Danny DeVito.
All right, Josh, I sent you my message. Let me know if it's possible.
I just want to see Danny DeVito as the new Wolverine.
Danny DeVito's the new Wolverine. No.
There's a petition out there.
Anyway, well, yeah,
because
because it's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be a short, hairy, ugly guy. Like that's the whole
How
thing.
dare you, Joshua?
He's got a classical charm to him, all right, but he's not conventionally attractive.
Danny DeVito is gorgeous. How dare you? Take that back.
Where's my...
He's a beautiful man on the inside.
I need to...
I was recently reminded that Danny DeVito, God damn it, Danny DeVito.
Thank you, Joe.
Had a very small part in Austin Powers 3 Goldmember, where he played.
Did he?
Yeah, he played Mini-Me in like the fake movie version of Austin Powers within the movie.
Oh,
or like
the movie adaptation of his.
Tom Cruise's Austin Powers, Kevin Spacey's Dr. Evil, and John Travolta is Goldmember, and then Danny DeVito was Mini-Me.
That's hilarious.
For a split second, I thought we didn't have popsicles, and I seriously questioned if I was even in the right fucking house.
Crystal was about to riot.
Well, my dad always has popsicles, no matter what time of year it is. He always fucking has popsicles. And so I was very confused. I'm just like, where the fuck did they all go? Oh, there goes the spoon.
Goodbye, spoon.
I need to find my Hammy DeVito photo that I have saved on this computer.
Did you say Hammy DeVito?
Yes, it's Danny DeVito holding a ham. We've been over this.
I don't want to be over that.
It was that portrait that we had found that somebody painted and put on Facebook Marketplace.
I don't remember that, but I'm 100% willing to believe that, yeah. I guess. Hammy DeVito.
Okay. So as you guys are standing there, the mystery box that K2 had pulled out of the chest earlier just like flops out of his bag onto the ground, and then just slowly like begins opening and unpacking itself. And then a tiny little robot appears standing there. Just goes, "Hello! I am Helper!"
I thought you were gonna say a tiny little druid pops out and I was
Hello, helper.
Hello.
I'm K2.
Saving information. Hello, K2.
What are you?
I am helper. I like to assist.
Okay. Maybe you can assist me with this door.
Cool.
I figured out I need some kind of ritual to open it. However, the instructions are written in a very obscure language called Druidic.
It like slowly turns and walks over to the door. I see. Assessing information. This may take a while. Do you have a book? I recommend reading.
He's got the AOL dial-up.
I love him.
Yeah, just like the dial-up sound just starts playing. All right. I look over at Darkalion. I guess maybe we should just let this little guy do his thing.
If you could see the look on Darkalion's face.
If he
But
had
you
a
can't.
face.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but thanks for reminding me.
Yikes.
Okay. So I guess we're waiting.
Yeah, while we're waiting for this guy to kind of do his thing, I guess, maybe you can help me find something. Josh, while we're waiting for Helper to do his thing, I'd like to like kind of look around like the rest of like the tree and see if I can find like kind of like thin, brittle parts, like pieces of wood that I could like break off that are kind of like malleable, if that makes sense. Like they bend easily.
Yeah, I'd say that's easy to find in here.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I just with Darkalion's help, I would like to find a bunch of these and then start weaving them together into like a peach, like, kind of like papyrus paper.
Okay. Yeah, that would be, yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd say it'd probably take you like half an hour to weave it.
Sure. Well, between all the stuff we've done and the various ritual spells I've cast, oh, we know. It's only been 2 hours. Plus 2 hours. So they still have like 4 hours left for everybody else to do it. Never mind. The math in my brain got turned upside down somehow. For a second I thought everybody had caught up to us time-wise, but never mind. They still have 4 hours to sleep.
Yep.
Never mind. Cool. While we're doing this, I look over at Darkalion. I was like, I bet you're wondering why we're doing this.
The thought had crossed my mind.
Well, like, you know my idea, my plan to make the painting that's supposed to seal the moon goddess away?
Yeah.
Gotta paint on something. What's a painting without canvas?
That's true.
My initial idea was I was gonna, if we had succeeded in defeating Red Eyes, I was gonna use like part of its hide as like vellum and paint on that. But now that we've struck a deal with Red Eyes, that's obviously not an option anymore.
Wouldn't you think it'd be kosher?
Who said that?
I heard
What is
something.
kosher?
Yeah, that makes sense. The only thing I have to paint on is my other mask. And I
That
don't
could
want to
be
do that.
interesting. Oh, you don't want to like have the face of a goddess?
It would just be weird.
Yeah, it would, but it would also be fun.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Be interesting, but like, should I even consider?
I feel like if you did that, I would be personally obligated to have a random bard approach you every time you go into a town and start singing in the arms of an angel.
Oh my god.
Only if Josh actually starts singing the song each time, I will do it.
You joke, but I totally see him doing that every single time.
I know.
I don't promise quality, I promise quantity.
So it goes from a torment for Darkalion to a torment for all of us.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a blinking contest you can't win.
No,
It's a blessing
You're trying
and a
to-
curse.
you're if you're trying to make Josh feel shame, you can't.
No, in all honesty, Darkalion has enough curses, so he doesn't need a third.
I've seen the man eat a taco out of garbage. He's the trash man.
He's the trash man.
He's in the trash.
After we make a sizable amount of papyrus canvas, I'll roll it up, put it in my bag, like, oh, let's see how Helper is doing.
It hears you talk about it, and it just like turns.
Oh,
Hello! I have analyzed the language.
I have no idea
How's it
what
going,
it says.
It describes a ritual. For this, we need 2 bowls of berries, a skull of a strange creature, and it like leans in closer to it. A Remoraz. Analyzing data.
Oh my god.
Oh. Strange insect-like creatures. Often known for consuming large creatures whole. Terrifying.
Yes, quite. Helper, does it ask for a specific type of creature skull?
Well, it recommends Remoraz, as they are abundant in this area.
Oh, okay, so it's the skull of a Remoraz, not... I thought there was like 3 things. Got it, okay. There's 2
Berries.
things. Berries and a Remoraz skull. Alright.
And it says to coat the skull in the berries and perform the dance, of which I will show you.
Josh outside.
No, it's actually the Macarena. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not too good with dances, so it dances. It does a little jiggy, and there, the performance is done.
Perfect.
It's down tonight.
Okay.
Well, if it's gonna get down tonight, it has to make a little love first. God, now, sir,
Oh my
come on.
god.
No.
Well, I look over at Darkalion. It seems this has gotten more complicated than I thought it was going to be, and we'll have to do more things to open this door.
Yeah, don't think it's going to be super simple.
Well, I guess we'll head back to the party and let them know what we found out. I just kind of I bend down and like put my head up. Come on, helper, let's go.
I am finished helping. And he just climbs up your arm.
Perfect. Just put him on like the top of my backpack, so he's like looking over my shoulder.
I almost expected him to like curl back up in the cube.
All right.
as a dormant, he just cubes himself back up. All right. Yeah, I'd say you guys get back about the time everybody else wakes up.
Cool. Thank you for just kind of hand waving how we got out of the tree.
I mean, you were gonna do it, like.
It's fine. I'll just mark off the spell slot, and we won't talk about how I did it.
Full speed flying.
Actually, I have Featherfall.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah, it hasn't come up.
You make your way back in, and the doctor's just like, "What? Huh? What? No, I wasn't sleeping."
The tree is also not aggressive to you coming out, so.
Oh.
There's that
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Well, that's nice. That's good to know.
A lot of defense mechanisms on this tree.
Sure. Alright. Well, we probably get back and there's still like plenty of time before they wake up.
Yeah, probably like half an hour to an hour.
Alright.
I will take a short rest in that time to get some of my fucking health back.
I will take a short rest to get my level 1 spell slot back. Yay, wizard.
I lost damn near half my health during that.
Yeah, sorry.
Damn, I should have done more.
Yeah, sorry.
No, Josh, it's fine.
Are you sure? I mean, we can try it again.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll wait around for the rest of the party to finish their rest. Oh, actually, you know what? There's something else that I can do while I'm waiting.
Okay.
I just remembered the main reason I wanted to come to this city in the first place. I just like to kind of like walk around the city and look to see if I find any like shops or buildings marked with the symbol of an owl looking out.
Okay.
Which, if you need me to remind you what that means, I can.
I vaguely remember, but just go ahead and send it to me anyway, because it will help jog my memory. Yeah.
All right.
I know the purpose of it, but I'm like, there's been so much shit going on. Yeah. Which floor are you starting on? Currently, you're on level 2.
Oh, that's right. There's multiple floors to the place.
And how soon does he run into Tom Eric?
Oh God.
Oh, almost instantly.
Well, I already know that Tom Eric's never seen anything like that before, because I already asked him.
Yep.
I guess I'd go to, like, a part of the city where like it's more common for like people not originally from the city to settle down in?
Okay. Yeah, that would be the bottom level. Yeah, it's less guild activity down there, more just residential. So that is easy enough.
Cool.
Yeah, you don't run into Tom Eric, as he is probably asleep, or being pestered by somebody, or pestering somebody. It's really hard to say with him. All right. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Sorry, if you said something I didn't hear it, it kind of cut out right as you started talking.
Oh, my bad. Make an investigation check.
Okay. Sounds good. Ooh.
Would you like to reroll?
Yes. Yeah, better.
Better, yeah. You wander around a little bit. During your journey, you pass a couple things. As you are maintaining vigilance over your surroundings. You walk past a fine gentleman, a little more on the plump side as he pushes a cart past you that has various pastries on it and other baked goods. You come across a few beggars that, as you approach them, kind of look at you funny and then reach into their pocket and then decide it's probably not the best idea before turning away.
Okay. Joke's on them. All of my funds are liquid. I've got like maybe 20 gold on my character sheet.
They don't know that.
And you're technically associated with me.
Oh, actually, it's platinum, so that's a lot of money. Anyway. Do I find?
And you do come across the symbol of the owl.
Cool. What is the symbol on, I guess?
It is on the side of a house.
Oh, okay, just a house. All right.
Yep. That seems to be like kind of repurposed, so it's like a 2-in-1 house/shop.
Got it.
But it's definitely more of like a homely aesthetic.
Sure. Can I tell what type of shop it is?
You can. Yeah, it seems to be more along the lines of a more not high-end weapons and armor.
Oh.
Because it's kind of like, in the slums, but they're not shit quality.
Hey, 2-in-1. I also wanted to find an armor shop at some point.
Well, there you go.
Well, there we go. Cool. I'll go in.
All right. You enter, and you are greeted by a large, burly male. He is human. Mm-hmm. He looks at you as you enter and says, "Ah, are you here for a dagger for your enemies?"
Oh my god, I can think of so many great ways to respond to this.
Well, thankfully, you have the linguist feat.
Oh, yes, I do.
So you can immediately tell that this is code.
Oh yeah, I knew this was code. I was just trying to decide how I want to respond.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. Because my initial response was like, was to say, the only dagger I need lies in my mouth. But then I thought about making a dick joke.
God.
No, I'll go with my initial idea. And yeah, the only dagger I need lies in my mouth.
The forked
Still
tongue of a
vaguely
snake
sounds
is
like
no
a dick
use here.
joke.
Maybe no use here. But amongst other vipers, the ability to shed your skin is very useful.
Perhaps not a dagger then. Maybe armor to protect yourself.
Perhaps some scales to go with my forked tongue then.
He just like gives you a half smile. What can I help you with?
Well, I come for two reasons. One, I actually am in the market for some armor. That'd be really nice. Two was an exchanging of tales. Inform on you, you inform on me. And I kind of look around, it's like, and I'll say kind of under my breath, and I'll also switch to our native tongue, and I'll say, is it safe to talk here?
He just gives you a nod to the back room.
Alright. We'll head to the back room then.
Alright. And you hear a lock behind you as the door locks itself.
So, essentially what I'd like to accomplish with this gentleman is seeing how we each have similar presences in major cities on this continent. Just kind of like a get an idea of how successful we each have been in infiltrating the society of our respective cities.
Yeah. He would tell you that he's been welcomed into society, but since it's kind of a shady underground, he's having trouble earning trust.
Well, might be able to help with that. I do have an inn with one of the people of this city, one of the higher ups. Checking group notes to see what the fuck Atramir's clan is called again.
Midnight Guard.
Midnight Guard, thank you. Traveling companion of mine happens to be the acting senior member of the Midnight Guard, since they all kind of poof. And perhaps if he was in need of having a new set of armor that he just came into possession refitted for himself, perhaps he might require the services of a skilled craftsman such as yourself.
I see. An armor fit for a leader.
And when they see him walk down the street in that armor, they'll know it came from this shop. At least, temporarily, shop.
I like this idea. I accept.
Great. Now, not the armor for myself. Basically, actually, you said Josh, you were open to Valda's armor, right? Right, Valda's like stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I think the armor.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, they added like a few like extra options for armor that's like better than what's in the player's handbook.
Correct. However, it does require special proficiency.
Oh, are they exotic?
Yeah,
Correct.
there's exotic armor.
Oh, damn. Well,
Yep.
That's unfortunate. Yep, exotic armor. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it requires a special feat.
Well, poopy. Never mind, I won't use that then. I mean, I think I can count the amount of times that we've had to like stealth, or at least I've had the stealth. Like I can count that on like one hand.
Yeah.
So, I was interested in.
Yeah, we're a real subtle group.
Yeah, right. Getting some medium armor, possibly half plate, but I don't have enough money for just like normal half plate, so I don't know. I'd be willing to go down to scale if or I don't know. I don't know if he'd be willing to like give me like a discount because of our connection as well as what I'm about to do for him.
I tell you what. You bring me a leader, and they purchase a custom fitting from me, I'll give you the armor.
You have yourself a deal.
He reaches his hand out to shake your hand.
I will shake his hand.
Deal is made. I am Horku.
I was gonna tell you my code name, but all right, real names are fine too. You can call me K2. I was trying to come up with a code name. I was like, I don't want to give him the White Death. That was my fighter name. That was my gladiator name. I was like, what would my
That'd be a little ominous.
Yeah, I was like, what would my code name be? I was like, my brain went to Two-Faced because of like my shadow. I was like, but I'm not that Two-Faced. I just have two faces, I guess. But I guess you saved me the need to come up with a code name, so I'll just say, yeah, call me K2. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We both know what we are. We don't need to.
Yeah. He's not hiding anything from you. He'll probably hide stuff from, other people, but...
Right, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, and I would have given him, like, an idea of, like, everything going on in my city, too. Like the various properties that I own.
Oh,
yeah.
You're not gonna share?
Yeah, he takes great delight in listening to your tale that definitely trumps his, because he hasn't gotten very far.
I mean, to be fair, he definitely had the harder fight. Like,
yeah.
Secret City in the middle of a tundra that's, like, slightly xenophobic.
Isolationist.
Yeah, isolationist. Like, he definitely had a much more uphill battle than me. Not to mention, I already started with a leg in on the game anyway. Cool.
He had to literally build up from nothing.
Alright, cool. Sweet. Well, with that, I'm gonna go back to the hall, and I'm just gonna make some slight adjustments to Atramir's armor.
Okay.
Which one?
The new one, the family armor that you just found. Because I'm assuming you're gonna be wearing that now.
That's if you can access it under the bed.
Oh, it's under the bed?
I thought you took it.
Yeah, I thought you took it.
Because that's what you said last time.
I would have taken it, but if we're sleeping, I'm just gonna put it back where it is and then put it on later.
Just keep it in a fucking Batman subterranean vault?
There's no point in not using a perfectly good storage facility.
Fine, I guess I'll have to make my adjustments later. It's not gonna be like anything like big anyway, just enough to make you think like, huh, this doesn't quite feel right. Anyway.
I gotta see what the group stands on a couple of things anyway before we go. do the thing with the red eyes or whatever you got planned.
How do you know about that? You just woke up. No, well, okay. Yeah, but like if you guys are like if you were still asleep by the time that we got back, then like there's not a need for the note anymore. I would have just grabbed it.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Fireball
all.
credit.
I'd say you'd get back probably right before everybody woke up.
Yeah.
Burn
I'll just be casually walking by when Atramir wakes up. It's like, oh Atramir, let me help you with your armor.
Outside.
Question is whether Nesta's gonna be cool about it or not. Because I'm not breaking anything. I'm just using you.
He would check with you before we leave to be like, hey, do we have time for me to go on, like, to pick up a couple things while we're here?
Oh yeah, sure. Like obviously we're on like a time crunch, but like we're gonna what we need to do now, like everybody should be like ready for that.
Okay. In that case, one, you see if we could pry Reelan out of the room for like 5 minutes, so we might be able to like see if there's anything in there for him.
Oh, do we have to bring him?
He gestures to the bed.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. You weren't there for that. Reelan ran away. Left us all to die.
Just give him that look of like, huh.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume, because I'm gonna refrain from dad disappointment for at least a minute, to assume that you guys properly at least got your aggression and your feelings out and talked about it civilly, right?
Oh, I'm way past talking. Like I'm done. As far as I'm concerned, he's not part of this group anymore.
That's your opinion is entirely valid. Another note: you haven't been shanked yet by the homeless.
Did you say something yesterday? I didn't. I heard like that and then nothing else.
Said like, okay, your opinion is entirely valid. Another note: you haven't been shanked yet by the local populace yet, right? No homeless have tried to gut you on your way.
No.
Anyway,
I saw a couple that were thinking about it, but I think they realized that I'm not one to be messed with.
or maybe that you look like you don't have a lot of coin on you.
Are you kidding me? Look at these clothes.
Al, I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself about that.
This is real fur.
Just gonna like,
I have a fur-lined red leather jacket on. You tell me that I don't look like someone with money?
I'm just saying that might not be real leather though.
Oh, it's real leather. You think they're gonna skimp on the leather but get real fur?
Well, we're to find out. In any case, whilst we're having this discussion, just gonna like make my way over to where Reeland's been sleeping, just like check in, like, hey, buddy, you need anything?
I would undo the trap and the lock and other secure measure that I put in front of the door, and let Atramir in. I'm assuming my grandfather is still unconscious, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no. I would let him in. I'd just be like sitting in a chair in the room.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going, my friend?
It's going well. Aside from finding a family member in Ash in their bedroom, about as well as one can expect.
That's absolutely horrific. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're taking it one step at a time. In the meantime, found my inheritance. Do you want a finder's fee?
I mean, I don't really feel like I helped you find it, but I mean,
you helped get me here, so I mean,
well, sure. I see no reason to say no.
I'll have Hurid keep an eye. I'll have Hurid and the doctor keep an eye on your pops. I assume that's your pops.
That. My grandfather.
All right. In any case,
all right.
I'll show you the secret chest that's hidden in Grandpa Ulra's room.
Okay. Bring Fanny with me.
Do we think the dog is gonna get something if he reaches in?
I think it's possible.
That's up to Josh.
Is it?
I definitely want to find out.
Yeah, I think that's up to Josh. You were.
So I would like that. Like if I could get him some like I don't know, some like bladed like gloves or something to put on his paws to give him some kind of claw attack, or I don't know, just something. Give him a little extra. He's pretty good, but he's got one move and that's it. Yeah, I guess Reeland reach in first.
Really feel free to take, you know.
Oh, never mind, that's Fenny. Never mind, that's Fenny.
You said Reeland first.
Can't change it after the fact.
And for the first time, you reach into the chest and pull nothing out.
Aww.
Oh.
Blah, 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 blah.
Alright, well, see if the dog goes any better. Oh, okay.
That isn't to say you didn't get rewarded.
Oh.
Fair.
Roll me 1d4.
Oh no.
Okay.
3! Alright. You gained 3 health.
Ooh.
Oh.
Just,
Back to my max?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
you saw the platinum and you got hardier.
Nice.
Now we got hard.
Oh.
Just
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the dog goes sniffing in for shit.
Probably not gonna find shit in there if he is. I don't know. I don't know what else has been in that fucking.
He finds whatever a 9 gets him.
Nothing. Yeah.
And with the shot.
Yep. It's worth a shot indeed.
He will pass at least 250 in gold to you.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Freaking Daddy Warbucks over.
Like that. To tide you over, I know you've been, had a lot of expenses. The mask, the armor, the bow that you have yet to pick up.
Yes. Should I ever live to see it?
In any case, K2 said we had a little bit of time, so I was thinking of visiting a old armorer I knew. See if we're getting some work done to the family armor.
All right.
If it'll be done in time, that is.
How much time do we have? I thought we were supposed to leave this morning.
I don't fucking know. This has been K2's, escapade.
Yeah, that's very true.
And with the line of succession, cut veritably very, very far down the line. Let's just say my guild is very light on members at the moment.
I'm sorry, but
I was gonna say, with the line of succession and the way things are, the guild might be looking at a very slim number of members.
Hello? Is Atramir here?
Oh my god. Still hanging out at the front. What is it?
I think someone's
Just
looking for you.
take a look down the hall. Like, who the fuck is calling my name?
You see Tom Eric poking his head in the door.
You're still not allowed in here.
I'm not coming in.
Doesn't fucking. I will cut you down where you stand, man.
Please don't. I'm already hurt.
What's wrong, Tom Eric?
I was told to bring a message. It just falls over.
Oh God.
There is very visibly a dagger in his back.
Is there anything on the dagger, or is it just the dagger?
Just the dagger.
Was that the message?
Hands of healing.
I think so.
I think that was probably.
You
punch him back to life.
You get him before he dies. For Atramir.
Yeah. You said you had a message.
Ouch.
From who?
I don't know.
Which one? Did anybody say that they sent the regards?
No, it just said I got a message for Atramir,
And then you were stabbed?
Stabbed.
and then it hurt. And I feel the pain. This isn't very magical. It hurts though.
Yeah, you're still not allowed in this building, right?
Oh, sorry. And he just pushes himself along the floor, so he's right outside the right outside the door, blood streaking the whole way.
Better.
Jesus.
Look, there's a reason he's not allowed in here. And Herod's partially to blame.
What? Huh?
He almost passed out.
Yeah, Rava's just gonna close the door.
Maybe there's something
What
special
about
about the dagger.
Oh, right. Takes it out of Tom Eric.
You open the door back up. And Tom Eric's like trying to scramble to his feet, and you just yank the dagger out, and he just falls back to the ground. You just close the door in his face. Okay, I'll be out here.
You gonna be okay?
I don't know. My feelings are kind of hurt.
Dr. Tin opens the door. There's a painkiller bomb at him.
Oh my god.
Get him further out the.
So nice to him.
Look, we at least pick him back up. He has 20 temp HP for 20 minutes.
For 1 minute.
3 times his health.
He feels great.
Oh, it's a last for 1 minute equal to the total damage roll.
Gains temporary hit points, which last for 1 minute, equal to the total damage
right.
rolled.
Right.
It's weirdly phrased there, but
yes, it is. Either way, he's got effectively a steroid. Get out the door. All right. So it would appear that some, maybe a couple guild leaders are not happy that I'm here and living, and that technically we still have a seat on the table. Technically.
I mean, wouldn't you, even if it was only here and here? As long as there's at least one member of the authority of the Midnight Guard.
Well, Edward, remember how I told you that Hurid, once took like a cartwheel to the face and dangled out of a window by his ankle?
Among other things.
Yeah, the general consensus is it's a pain in the ass to try and kill him, so he's better left, alive.
Right, but now that you're back for what might be an indefinite amount of time, at least for them, that poses more of a problem.
Yep.
I mean, based on what you've told us beforehand, it seems like Syndicate might be the most likely option.
Let me take a... Would you mind joining me in where the war table was?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
So, yeah. Go back into that bedroom. Check to see what the layout of the war table looked like. Again.
Yeah, a lot of red flags over in the Syndicate region.
Trying to decipher the manic weirdness that is Pappy Old's head. When last I spoke to him, did it seem like he was more gearing up for war? Or more in the case of, like...
I mean, archetypically, don't red flags indicate danger?
I'm trying to get a sense of what his mind was before I left. What was he gearing up to do?
Well, when you left, he was just on the council. There was no...
Everything was fine.
Everything was fine, yeah.
Okay, so there's some status quo. Somebody fucked up the status quo, and now we're left with this mess.
I mean... yeah, I don't know.
I need information, sadly. We might have to pay a visit to the family homeless shelter.
Maybe. It's just a matter of, do we have time?
I'd like to know who literally is trying to stab me in the back. Also, take a look at the dagger. Does it seem disposable, or no visible markings or insignias?
It's just a plain dagger.
Okay. Pocket.
Whoever
dagger.
was trying to send this message
wasn't using the most expensive stuff
Yeah.
to do it with.
It was very blatantly a
Threat.
a kind of a fuck you move.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll stab Tom Herrick to send the message. Why? Because fuck him.
Alright. Well. Reconvene with the others. It's clearly somebody wants me dead. If that wasn't already apparent. And
not guild leader. The leader now. So kind of that came with the territory here.
it does. Partially wasn't expecting, machinations to ensue again. This suit. But it's kind of hard to be inconspicuous. Gestures to his.
Yeah, especially Mr.
generous.
Clank, 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 clank.
Alright. Especially when our, main guard, gestures again to Hurid, is, not exactly the most watchful person in the world.
Hey, I have brain issues.
I'm aware. From the cart, the window, that time you fell on the street.
Don't forget about the wall.
Can't forget about the wall. Or the safe.
Has each instance that he's almost died been due to head trauma?
Not every instance, but a good number.
I did lose an arm once.
And I'm assuming, just kind of looks at Tin, it was reattached?
He sort of shrugs. It's like, oh, fuck no, man. Take a look at him.
Does Hurid have both of his arms?
Yeah, he does.
But he said that it wasn't reattached.
Correct.
He lost one, but he found it again.
Exactly.
You're the medically trained doctor. I'm the regular doctor. Everything about Hurid is confusing, Edward.
Actually medically trained though, because you even admitted yourself last time. You're a doctor.
Look, the Copper Lights needed somebody to sew people up. Nobody's died on my operating table yet.
Start.
Knock on wood.
I'm so tired of this fucking...
There's a number of people who would want me dead. I'm just concerned for the most part. Turns to hear it. I think we need to start recruiting again. Unless you know of anybody else in the guild who is still, alive and kicking.
Well, I mean, the rest of your family is not exactly what we would call accounted for.
Well, one of them is accounted for.
Well, yeah, the rest of your family, Atramir.
True.
I mean, do you guys have any other place that you would go if something like this happened?
We have two primary locations. Here, the family home and guild, and the homeless shelter that we run.
Right, but nowhere outside of the city itself.
We were born and raised here. We don't leave unless...
Forced out.
Yeah. I'm the only one who's, to my knowledge, had to willingly leave. Sorry, unwillingly leave. That's because, that was because of Vesic.
Right.
Speaking of... Now, can't worry about that right.
I mean, pertaining to the original reason why we came in the first place, has anything new happened on that front?
Yeah.
Or are we still in the same position we were last night?
How has that developed at all? Gestures to, K2, Darkalion, anybody who was up before me.
Oh, are we there? I thought you guys went off by yourselves.
I assumed, because I said I would reconvene with the others,
Oh,
K2,
I missed that part.
Yeah.
Reelan and all them.
Yeah. Stepped off to the side, have a chat, came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also missed that part.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, feel free to have opinions on the fact that somebody wants me dead.
Huh. Fun stuff. Oh, come on. Like, no one's ever had anybody, like anybody want to kill them before?
Not actively that I'm aware of.
I thought that was that whole thing with your sister.
I feel like that's ambiguous.
I hope that's not a kill thing, but I don't know exactly.
Would you want to know if it were the case?
I'm sure I'll find out if comes time.
Okay.
Well, anyway, while you all were resting, Darkalion and I, we went back to the forest, and we were able to, make friends with the Red Eye. He's not exactly happy about the whole thing, but, like, he at least won't attack us. Yeah.
I suppose.
Eel did you make?
It's actually kind of sad. I think he's lonely. He said that we can do our business in the forest, and then afterwards, I have to find him a mate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. That's actually kind of sad.
Right? Yeah, so after we made that deal, we were looking around the forest, and we found this huge tree. We made our way up to the tree. The tree fought back a little bit, but we got up there. And there's this big magic door. And I wasn't able to open the door, but thanks to my little helper here, and I show you all the robot that mystery cube turned out to be. Thanks to him, I was able to find out what I needed to open the door. which one of the things is really easy.
Okay.
Just need the berries that are found in the forest. The other thing, I need a Remoraz skull, which could be a problem, could not be a problem. I was gonna go talk to the people that we talked.
Oh, you were gonna, speak to the copper legs, see if maybe one of them had a skull. See, you could borrow.
They say it was like the same Remorazes as when started using the Remorazes.
What's that?
Didn't they say that it's the exact same Remorazes as when they first started using their blood?
They seem to be, yeah.
I mean, they can't live forever. There's like the there's got to be like an older Remoraz that had died at some point that they kept his skull sitting around.
If not, we could, float around the local taverns, talk to see if anybody who's part of the hunting groups is willing to part with a skull if they managed to kill one recently.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing here. Yeah, that would be cool.
I mean, we have to kill the Yetis on occasion. See if maybe anybody has a trophy.
But it's not Yeti skulls, it's Remoraz skulls. Do the Remorazes hang out with Yetis? I feel like they would be very diametrically opposed.
We have a very diverse ecosystem here.
Oh, okay.
We're an unusual family.
unless you want to, say hi to the snowy owlbears.
No.
Snowy owlbears.
Not particularly.
Now, is there something special about the owlbears, or are they just white owlbears that live in the tundra?
I mean, the local hunters call them snowies.
Snowies! Oh boy.
I mean,
all right.
It's akin to having it would be akin to a polar bear, Mike.
No, I got that part.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were going for like a winter wolf thing, where it's actually like a sentient wolf that breathes ice like breath.
No,
okay. Just a polar bear version of the owlbear. Got it.
Yeah. Which is still terrifying.
Yeah.
Because imagine if that thing has a swim speed. We're fucked.
Okay, so yeah, it sounds like we have a couple ideas where we might be able to find a skull of an already dead Remoraz, so we can try those avenues first before we go down the reluctant path of having to fight one.
Yeah, and if we have to fight one, we could always conscript, some people who are willing to, die for glory.
I didn't think dying for glory was like a thing in the lawless city.
I mean, you can always pay at least somebody an exposure.
Okay, fair enough. I never pay an exposure. Only evil people pay an exposure.
Reputation goes a long way.
That's indecent.
I paid an NPC an exposure, and now I'm lawful evil. I don't know what happened.
That'll do it. Why is there an angel knocking on my window at night?
We could take a couple avenues, because I need to
Wait,
make
is that Josh, or is someone in the game saying that?
No, that was me.
Why? What is happening, Josh? What?
God has finally found him.
The Church of the Taco Bell has come to reclaim his soul.
What soul? Try again.
The Church of Taco Bell has come to reclaim all the Baja Blasts you've stolen from it in the past few years. It's the closest approximation.
Fuck!
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, do we want to try the copper legs, or do we want to go check out these hunters first?
Let's try the hunters first.
Hunters? Alright.
It's gonna require a bit of a bar crawl, just letting you guys know.
That's alright.
K2 and I's specialty.
Yeah.
Hide your corn purses.
Let me get all my gear and we can get going.
Yeah. Are you wearing the special armor?
Might as well. I mean, I'm gonna stop. While we're doing this, might as well stop by the cracked anvil and get some alterations done.
You know, I actually found a really good blacksmith in town that excels in armoring. And I think they would do a really good job at making some adjustments for you.
I mean, let me at least get a quote from my buddy Hoarder first before I go to your guy.
I mean, yeah, we can try. I'm just saying, this guy, really good. Took a look at some of his stuff. K2 approved.
In any case, I'm gonna put on the plate mail. Or the plate armor, I should say, sorry.
Whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, see these straps here. I don't think they're supposed to be that loose. Look, I may not be like an armor wearing person, but I've known like a few knights in the past, and this.
I think you could take in the sides a little bit by like a couple inches.
Yeah. See, yeah, it's just like, was this your father's armor or your grandfather's armor?
Grandfather's.
Okay, so yeah, like obviously he just had a little bit of like an old man gut, which you don't have. You got that young slimness. So you just got to get in on that. Take it in a little bit.
Right.
We're just gonna cause a fucking bidding war between two fucking armorers. In any case, let's start this bar crawl.
Okay. Which bar are you starting at?
I have a very important question before we start the bar crawl. Does Tom Eric follow us?
Tom Eric is currently outside. And
well, I
out
mean,
of
we have
sight.
to leave to go to the bar crawl, so that's what I mean.
Correct.
Look, he's gonna be our early warning system.
Yeah, you if you open the door and look for Tom Eric, he's not there.
Is there a line of blood?
I was gonna say, is there a blood trail to follow?
Nope.
Give Briar a look of concern.
Oh, don't you pretend to be concerned about Tom Eric.
Hey, I actually like Tom Eric.
Concern is in the man
I
vanished without a trace.
I'm confused because I don't know where we're actually going.
Same.
To a bar to find some hunters who might have a Remoraz skull.
We'll start at the Skin Yeti and go from there. Mainly because Ulrin still likes us.
Oh, the Skinned Yeti was a place. I thought you meant like actual like Skinned Yetis. Got it. That makes more sense.
It's in the notes.
You expect me to read?
Lately.
Clearly, I'm expecting too much.
Clearly.
You guys are starting at the skinned yeti.
Yup. See,
Okay.
see if Oren has any leads for us.
Sure. You make your way down to the skinned yeti. Find Oren, as usual, at the bar. He just like looks at you guys as you enter. He's just like, "It's a bit early to drink for you, isn't it?"
I mean, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's a trick question. The correct answer is no, Oren. I would like a beer.
It's a good point. In any case, Oren, would you care to give me a beer?
I would care to. You have to purchase one.
Give him 1 gold for a decent beer.
Appreciate it. He just hands you an ale.
Are there other people here?
No.
In any case, catch up. Be like, all right, how's business been? I know it's been a hot minute since we sat down and played cards.
Same as usual.
All right.
I have a feeling you're here for other questions, so you can cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, I know your head's been recently replaced. So you know anybody who's been talking about a rather large, Remoraz skull that they've acquired recently?
Or just any Remoraz
Or
skull.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that big.
Yeah.
Literally, just right to the point. What brought that on? Well, I haven't exactly heard of any news of a Remoraz. Or anything for that matter, now that I think about it. Hunters come and go. But not much talk.
That's surprising considering, you're typically, the talk of the town.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
I love how his roommate's just like blasting pop music behind him.
I know. Earlier I was like, man, someone back there is either going through it or like jamming.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Just adds so much to this right now.
it's not his roommate, so yes.
Okay. As I was trying to fucking say before he's fucking... Alright. So, you've basically been frozen out, is what I'm hearing, as far as information as... been going through the grapevine and all that?
Yep. Zero information. Nobody said a word to me.
Can I insight to see if he's holding back because it's me?
Go ahead.
You can certainly try.
He is not holding back information because it's you.
The real question is just holding back information in general.
Yeah, that is a very specific answer.
Would you prefer some compensation for whatever, you happen to know?
I mean, how can you pay me for information I don't know?
That's if you have information that, you're claiming you don't know.
Why would I claim such a thing?
Because then you would, drive up the cost of that information.
What information?
we're back to this. So let's say if I hypothetically had information, what could I hypothetically give you for that information?
Are there any hunters who would actually actively try to hunt for Amarazes?
Oh yeah, tons of them.
Alright. Okay.
Are they currently hanging out at here? Well, obviously it's not fucking here.
No, there's nobody here. Well, except for you. Truthfully, this early in the morning, they're either getting back or leaving to a hunt.
Okay. Alright. Noted then. Look to K2. What's the time frame that we need this go?
Well, I mean, as soon as possible. I'd like to get all this stuff done with, before the world ends in 2 days.
Alright.
That's soon. Is it?
I assumed we had a little bit more time, right?
No, it's pretty soon. He's not
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Or it's like 2-3 days at most.
Alright.
Yeah, this is your 5th day being away from Stone Sparrow.
Okay. In any case, any collectors that you know of who have, kept their collections on display, particularly maybe at home?
I know a lot of collectors of various things, Atramir.
Collectors of, skulls of the exotic creature variety.
I know of somebody that collects exotic creatures. Kind of hard to get to them at the moment, though. They're rather far.
Anybody in town?
There's lots of people in town.
And this is why I hate playing cards with you, because you always talk around everything.
Well, let's stop trying to look at my hand.
Alright, in any case, do any of the hunters currently have a, collection of either Remora's corpses at their places?
Atramir, we've been over this. I know nothing about what the hunters have collected.
Do they have a place where they all congregate?
Yes. Another.
But no one central place.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm aware of. But no talk of it.
So either we start looking for other places, or we hang out here and hope that one of the group of them comes by that might know something more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you
Welcome to
mentioned
stay and drink as much as you want.
You mentioned that around this time they'd either be leaving the hunt or coming back from a hunt. Is there an exit that they prefer to use to leave that we can wait outside?
Depends on what they're hunting. Most of them would choose to prefer to go north.
Okay.
That exit you would find up on the upper level.
Alright.
Closer to the council room and all that?
Yeah. Well, the upper chamber of the council room, but yes.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe we can try that then.
Alright.
Maybe
Side question. Somebody apparently wants me dead. Do you know anybody gunning for my seat?
Yeah, any open bounties on Atramir?
He looks between the two of you for a second. It's like,
wait, this is on Facebook.
well, you know what they say about bounties. Everybody's got them from somebody.
Does anybody have one out on me?
Everybody has a bounty from somebody.
The answer is yes, Atramir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you know which one?
Of your bounties? No.
You've got multiple bounties.
Although I did, thinking about it, hang on, this one's free. I think Tom Eric had a bounty out on you.
Oh shit.
Well, Tom Eric's not a Tom Eric's not a threat.
No, but the people that usually pick up the bounties are. Actually, speaking of which, are any of you bounty hunters? I know a guy that could, that's got a bounty or two out on him.
Well, I am.
How much you paying?
Alright, I'll give you a platinum to shut the fuck up.
Deal.
Well, I want to hear him out.
I'm confused.
If you never speak of a bounty again.
No, no, come on. I need to know why Tom Edgar put a hit out on you. Come on, no.
I want to know how Tom Eric is paying for it. Is he like old money or something?
No, he's so broke because he keeps getting hurt.
Keep having to pay the doctor.
Look, we speaking of Dr. Tin, it's just like I ain't saying shit. His tab is he still owes me shit.
I thought Dr. Tin was with Reeland's grandpa.
So did I.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not here.
This is confusing.
What is?
I'm piloting two characters at the same time.
All of it, everything. My brain is done.
Alright.
I'm done. It's bullshit.
Either way, basically, he has no information to help us. Doesn't know anything. So this is pointless to be here.
He's given us lots of information.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything.
Oh, God.
Make sure you mark that platinum off.
Yeah, I did. Yep, I did. Just to get him to not talk about a bounty.
Well, do we want to go to that north exit and see if we can find ourselves some hunters?
Alright, we can try that.
Sure.
Well,
Off we go.
yeah.
Do we happen to pass by either blacksmith on the way to this northern entrance exit?
You would go past the cracked anvil.
Yeah, stop
in there then while we're...
Check in with hoarders, see how business is going.
Oh, Atramir.
Hoarder.
I heard news you were back in town.
Oh God.
Why does he sound like Kermit? I hope.
I forget.
Kermit the blacksmith here.
I didn't specify, so we got human, elf, Duragar.
Bullywug.
Oh my God.
Grung. I don't know. He sounds
Funnily
like
enough, he actually is a bullywug.
Oh
Yeah!
my God.
He's a what?
He's a what?
He's a
He's a
bullywug.
They're
He's a
frog
frog
people.
man.
Yeah.
Frog man.
He's
They're
just-
like frog people. I don't know if they're the size of a
I
person or like the
love
size of
them.
like a halfling. I can't remember.
They're so cute. Oh
How
my
does a
God.
frog blacksmith? They got no bone structure.
Robin
He
has excitement.
has very
just
strong
like,
hands.
real. Robin's just like.
there's a reason this place
smiles
is
at
called the
whoever's
Cracked
next to her,
Anvil.
really excited.
Oh man.
Hello, everybody.
Or
God damn it, Josh.
I want to taste him.
Wow.
do you say that in your head or aloud?
Oh, in her head, definitely.
Briar's impulsive, but not that
I feel like Briar
impulsive.
Cruz said that to Robin, she just would have started dying.
You're like, "What?"
Just muttered under her breath.
She just has to hold back from like licking her lips. Like, nope. Keep it to yourself.
Hoarder, it's good to see you. Unfortunately, Odo has.
Oh, you know I don't like unfortunate news.
Let's just say the line of succession has fallen down to me, and I need some alterations done to the armor. Yes.
Okay.
Mainly, can you make it, stealthier?
No.
I appreciate his candor. No.
It would be almost certainly impossible.
God.
I can't take him seriously.
I want to take him with us.
Is it more the case of it can't be done in a quick time
You already have
frame,
an
or
NPC.
is it more that it can't be done quickly, or that
The feat you were asking me to do is impossible.
Hi ho.
Wow.
Okay, fair. In any case,
I guess that's my own and unfortunate news for you.
yeah. Better news. I don't know. You might be better at this. Unfortunately, Tom Eric has been stabbed, and I need to know who stabbed him with this dagger. Did it come from you, or one of the
No,
others?
I didn't stab him.
Did you make the dagger? Is this your handiwork or somebody else's?
It just looks like a normal dagger.
Really?
I could have made it. Quite astonishingly, it's good craftsmanship. So I know it very well could be mine.
Oh God, you never.
Well, there are no brandings on it, so it's not one of the finer crafted items I have ever made. Maybe I did not make it.
Does he have anything that you can see to buy that's not your?
Oh yeah,
basic
there's
run-of-the-mill
weapon
armor?
racks.
Yeah,
Or that
he's got some interesting accoutrement.
Well, I mean, he does have an entire section made for bullywugs.
It's like a...
Look, nobody makes stuff in his size.
Is there like a little sign?
God damn it.
This is bully.
And then very small script after it once.
Wugs.
Keep in mind, a bullywug is not a small creature. These things are like 4 to 7 feet tall.
No, yeah. A bullywug is the size of a person.
I know, they're still adorable though. Alright, bullywug section aside, is there,
No, Tori, we can't adopt him.
regular people, not
There
bullywug?
are regular people armors, yes.
Are you looking for some fang inserts?
No, I need to get those specially made, and we don't have time. But is it all just basic stuff you could pretty much get at most blacksmiths, or does he have anything?
He doesn't have anything super special or anything, no.
Mm-hmm.
He is not what you would call a world-class blacksmith. He's a
Just
bullywug.
Just checking. I'm pretty sure it'll be
I know a world-class blacksmith.
Seiju muttered under his breath.
And in the city, no less.
Oh my god.
Is
Is he also a bullywug?
Nah.
He's a world-class blacksmith.
Yeah, but is he a bullywug as well?
You can only be one of these two things, man. You're either a bullywug or a world-class blacksmith.
One of those little things is are you a bullywug? Yes. Are you a master blacksmith? Yes. No. Go back to the start.
So clearly, as none of us are bullywugs, we are all master blacksmiths.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the binary.
There are only two genders.
Oh my god.
Bad. Grounded.
Also checking in. You seen any of the siblings around?
Your siblings or mine?
Mine. I figured Rosita would be in, around this time to, restock. She been in recently?
No. haven't seen the likes of her around here at all recently.
Motherfucker.
Okay.
This is gonna be the only thing I'm actually gonna fucking remember from this session.
Oh my god.
And you haven't seen Mogan or Timir in a while either?
No.
Alright. I take it you haven't seen my pops either in a while?
No.
He hasn't stabbed anybody recently?
No, probably has. It's not here.
Actually, I don't think he's seen any of your family members.
I figure you gotta run through them, because you never know.
Well, either you run through them or they run through you.
How diverse is your family that you have to, remind him who's in your family?
There's a lot of them. They reproduce like frogs.
Well, you gotta keep in mind that my father's human, my mother's orcish, and...
nice.
Papa just kind of looks at Brian, she's just like, Michael.
Huh?
This is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm just gonna nudge Achmir, are you done with the family tree? I think he hasn't seen anyone.
Okay,
I've seen a lot of people, just not of his family.
Alright.
Yep.
Business is booming.
Alright. We'll go over to the north entrance then.
Wait, I thought you wanted to leave your armor to get fixed.
I will check in another time. Oh, before I forget though, I will be selling you the breastplate that you sold me like ages ago.
Look like not this guy.
I know a guy.
Oh, you want to sell me stuff? Okay.
I mean, at least give him the breastplate that, ironically, he sold me.
Oh, you're giving it to me. Thank you.
Yep. This is a fair, equitable transaction. What do you want for it?
What do I want for it? Well, I guess I can...
I want it for free.
I guess if you're willing to buy it from me, I'll sell it to you for 75 gold.
Okay. Might I remind you that I am selling it to you?
You just asked me what I wanted for it.
That's what I...
Oh, the turns have tabled, my friend.
Broken. Good job.
Oh my god. How the turn table.
I'm just gonna walk back over.
I'm going...
I can't even remember what this bully... I just now know him only as Bullywug in my...
Hoarder.
His name is Hoarder.
His name's just Bullywug.
Ironically, his last name is Swiftbraid.
Wait, did you say his name is Horner?
Hortor.
Oh,
Hortor.
I keep hearing hoarder.
See, I thought it was Horner with an N. I was gonna make a joke about a horned toad, but never mind.
Nope.
Yeah.
The upper hand is on the other. Exactly. Well, don't worry, we'll burn this bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, I'll just walk over to him, sort of gesture towards Achmir, who I'm assuming must be holding his old breastplate, because I'm guessing you brought it with you if you were planning on selling it.
Yep.
I'll just be like, he's selling this. I look at the not probably in the best condition breastplate. as it's been through some shit. She's like,
Oh,
he's selling the breastplate. How much will you pay him for it?
Well, it's in a pretty bad condition. Not very finely crafted either.
To be fair, he died in it and lived, so that's got to be worth something.
Ha! 2 silver.
Sold.
You know what? Whatever. You know what? He'll take the silver and
I don't think someone dying in the armor isn't a very good selling point. It's like, look at this armor. Look how it didn't protect him.
That's what I added, but he lived.
Yeah.
yeah.
Look how this thing designed to protect someone from dying so completely failed at its job that it was practically useless.
Look, he can upsell to the next poor sap. Considering it came from him.
I just turn around, like, there you go, Atchmere, 2 silver. I start walking off towards the north entrance.
Thank you for your continued business.
You are lucky that I like you, Horter, or I would smack you with this.
Your business is much appreciated.
God damn it.
As we're leaving, I just say, like, my guy's a lot more agreeable than that.
Yeah, but is he a bullywug?
This is the first bullywug I've met, and right now it's not a great example.
I don't know. I think he's a prime example.
For entertainment, yes. For someone you want to have a business transaction with, no. Atchmere, I think you did the right thing not entrusting your family's ancestral armor to that thing.
That thing has a name.
I know.
Yeah, bullywug.
You're also pushing awfully hard for this other individual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get Atchmere the best deal.
That's saying something, considering I lived here.
Right. Sure, that's the only motivation.
I think bullywug tastes like frog.
I mean, given, the physical makeup of them, probably.
I want this conversation to be over. Let's go.
To the north entrance.
Okay. You guys make your way toward the north entrance. And we'll actually just call session right there.
Okay, good.
Alrighty then. So I will end the recording here. So thank you guys for watching, and
yeah, thanks everybody for joining us for tonight's session.
Dear God. And we will catch you next week. Good night.
Quick, before he starts playing the banjo.